The best investors I know never saw the biggest gains coming. Why does that make them rich? Because while you're watching ZCMD rocket 191% in a single session, something far more dangerous is happening. You're not just missing out on a trade, you're abandoning who you are. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. He was talking about battle, about mortality. But he might as well have been watching today's market. Because right now, the S&P is down barely 0.1%. The VIX sits at 16.87, technically calm. The market isn't panicking, but you are. And the cost isn't the trade you missed. It's the investor you're about to stop being. Here's what's actually happening when a stock surges nearly 200%. You think you're calculating opportunity cost. What you're really doing is rewriting your identity in real time. You opened your portfolio this morning as an investor, someone with a plan, a time horizon, principles about risk and allocation and patience. Then you saw ZCMD. Then you saw SMCI up nearly 20%. And somewhere between the notification and your next heartbeat, you stopped being an investor and became something else. A trader. A speculator. Someone who's supposed to catch these moves. And now you're looking at your boring index funds, your dividend aristocrats, your dollar cost averaging spreadsheet, and you're thinking, what am I even doing? Marcus Aurelius understood something Wall Street still doesn't teach. The battle isn't beating the market. It's remaining yourself while everyone around you transforms into something unrecognizable. He wrote, when you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. He wasn't being pessimistic. He was preparing his identity, reminding himself who he was before the chaos began, because he knew that emperors don't lose their throne to barbarian armies. They lose it the moment they start acting like barbarians themselves. By the end of today, thousands of investors will make the same trade. Not buying ZCMD, that ship sailed. The trade they're making is this. They're selling their identity as patient, capital allocators, and buying a new identity as someone who catches lightning. And that trade, the one that costs nothing to execute, will cost them everything over the next decade. Because once you redefine yourself as the person who's supposed to catch every surge, every quiet day becomes a failure. Every blue chip holding becomes dead weight. Every strategy that worked for years becomes the old way, the slow way, the way that's clearly broken because look what you missed. Let me show you exactly how this plays out. Marcus Stone and Alex Rivera are sitting in Marcus's study. It's late afternoon. Market's just closed. Alex is staring at his phone, and his smartwatch hasn't stopped buzzing. Marcus is reading the same worn copy of Meditations he's owned for 30 years, his mechanical watch ticking steadily on his wrist. Alex finally breaks. I missed ZCMD. Up 191%. One day, Marcus. 191%. Marcus doesn't look up. What did you miss? What do you mean, what did I miss? The gain. The trade. The stock opened at $1.47. You didn't own it. Why didn't you own it? Alex stops. Because I'd never heard of it. I don't know what they do. I don't invest in companies I don't understand. That's right. That was your identity 3 hours ago. You are an investor who doesn't speculate on unknown companies. What are you now? Alex looks back at his phone. His screen shows 9 tabs open. Stock screeners, momentum alerts, a Reddit thread about biotech penny stocks. I don't know, he says quietly, and that's the moment. Not the loss, the identity fracture. Marcus finally closes his book. July 22nd, 2026. The market is functionally flat. The S&P down 14 basis points. The VIX at 16. There is no crisis, no crash, No paradigm shift. The market is doing exactly what it does most days. Nothing remarkable. But you're in crisis. And do you know why? Alex doesn't answer. Because you're trying to be two people at once. The investor who builds wealth slowly through compound returns and discipline, and the trader who catches every surge and never misses lightning. You can't be both. And the mental energy of trying to be both will destroy you faster than any bear market. Marcus pulls out his own portfolio. He shows Alex, tech allocation unchanged. Total return, year to date, 11%. Boring. Methodical. Exactly as planned 6 months ago. While you've been watching ZCMD, I've done nothing today. Nothing. My portfolio hasn't changed in 47 days. No trades, no rebalancing. Because 47 days ago, I decided who I am and what I do. When you have an identity, you don't need to react. You simply remain. Alex looks at the calm numbers, the discipline. But what if you're wrong? What if the market's changing and passive investing doesn't work anymore? And then I'll be wrong as the investor I am, not wrong as some panicked version of myself I became because I was afraid of missing out. Marcus Aurelius led Rome through plague, war, and betrayal. You think he won every battle? He lost battles. He lost cities. He watched half his empire die of disease. But he never lost himself. And when it was over, Rome still stood. Not because he won every day, but because he remained who he was every day. The VIX is still 16.87. The market's still calm, but Alex feels something settle. Not excitement. Not confidence. Just clarity. What do I do tomorrow? He asks. Marcus hands him a card. On it, one sentence in Marcus's handwriting. I am an investor who, builds wealth through discipline, not an opportunist who chases what already moved. Read it before you open your portfolio. Every single day. Until the words cost you nothing to believe. That's your identity. Everything else is just noise trying to convince you to abandon it. Here's your one action. Before you check your portfolio tomorrow, write one sentence defining your investor identity. Not your goals. Not your returns. Your identity. I am an investor who... Then read it out loud. Every morning. Before the notifications. Before the market open. Before you see what surged overnight. Because the investors who survive aren't the ones who catch every move. They're the ones who remain themselves while everyone else transforms into something unrecognizable. Your edge isn't speed, it's stability. Not of your portfolio, of your identity. The investors who survive every market cycle all share one trait. Next video names it.